Welcome to episode 37 of Paul Plays in Portugal, where today I've got a treble live com for you. We're taking on Porto away from home and Benfica at home with Arouca sandwiched in the middle. We're still going really strong, top of the table, 4 points ahead of Porto, so it's a really crucial game this one. We're also 7 points clear of Benfica, but they do have a game in hand, so it could all change in today's episode. At the moment, it's comfortable and it looks like we should go on to win the league. But poor results today and it could just drop off a cliff. We have played quite a few games since the last episode. Remember, the last few episodes we were focusing on Champions League, and we've been knocked out. We are down into the Europa League, which will be the next episode where we take on Celta in the first knockout round. But I'll quickly whiz down the recent results. You can see a 3-0 win. Lopez and Bruno Tabata with 2 late goals in that one. We scraped through Maritimo in the 5th round of the Taça de Portugal. A late own goal in the 92nd minute put it into extra time. Lopez and Vinicius made it comfortable for us. 1-0 win against Braga thanks to a penalty from Bruno Tabata, our super sub. We then beat Arouca thanks to 2 own goals and Lopez getting a 29th minute goal. Really early goals in that game. Georgian got sent off towards the end though. Then unfortunately crashed out of the Taça de Liga for the first time ever at the group stage. Benfica, we got a draw thanks to a late goal, but it just wasn't enough in the end despite a 3-0 win against Belenenses. Benfica marched on to the semi-final instead of us. But we continued our winning ways with a 1-0 win against Guimarães, Ivanic with the goal, and this was a tight game. Went to extra time again in the Cup in the 6th round, quarter-final, whatever you want to call it. 2 goals very quick, as you can see. Empis, 68th minute for Boavista. Wellington for us in the 70th minute. Went to extra time. Lopez, 108th minute. Georgian got sent off and they scored a late equaliser in the 119th minute. I don't know what is wrong with Georgian, by the way. Keeps getting sent off. But we won on penalties, just about. So we are through to another semi-final in the Taça de Portugal. So, today, Porto, first up. We've got a brilliant record against them. Let's keep it going. We beat them 4-2 earlier in the season. They've only ever beaten us once on this save, but they still are the favourites. They are in excellent form. We're in pretty good form as well. We've only lost 2 games all season, but so have Porto and Benfica and Sporting. So it really is very tight at the top. This is the team I'm going with. Fernando's at right back because Georgian just keeps letting me down. He might have been capped by France, but he's just not playing good enough for me. Vinicius is playing alongside Palmer Brown, quite simply because Posignolo is injured. He's out for up to 3 weeks. Bruno Tabata is also out for a few days, unfortunately. We've had a few injury problems, but generally pretty fit team at the moment. Fernando Silva, that's my preferred option at left back ahead of Luciano at the moment. Marcel defence midfield. Bruno Lamas in the middle. It's basically the team from last year. Lopez, Wellington, Ivanic, Nakajima, Lamas and Marcel. Different defenders, but you know, that front 6 is basically last year's front 6. Anyway, let's get on with this. These are the lineups then. Their player up front is their top goal. So Ramon Abila, an Argentinian. He's scored goals for them. Pereira is the most creative player this year with the most assists. We know they've got good players, but they certainly not achieved much since that first season when they did win the league. Since then, we've been fantastic against them, and we need to just continue. We need to continue being fantastic against them. Our games against Porto generally are very goal heavy. We end up winning 3-2, 4-2. So they've been a bit unfortunate, really, for the pendulum not to swing their way and enable them to win. We've always been just slightly better in these games, haven't we? Cool. It's like a Benfica game. Nothing is happening. Literally no highlights in this first half. Is there going to be one before the halftime whistle blows? No. You just get those games sometimes, don't you? And you just have no highlights whatsoever. Very frustrating. Lopez is on a 6.2, but I don't have anything to go by because we've not seen any highlights. I'm going to say we've been unlucky and just keep going. Ivanic is on 74% for some reason. He's had some injury problems lately, as has Lamas. It's been a bit of a struggle in the midfield with injuries, and I was trying to find a player in this January transfer window, and there's just been no one. I think it's still January, I might be wrong. But yeah, it's just been a real struggle to find anyone. The board have given me £6.5 million, but even that's not really good enough to improve this team. Here's Lopez, what a goal! This game has come to life thanks to the Argentinian maestro, Franco Lopez. What a strike that is. Wellington with the assist, but you know, it's all about Lopez here. Lama's really good interception. Ivanic passed it into Lopez, who found Wellington. Wellington, that's a decent pass actually, but Lopez had a hell of a lot to do from there, and he smashed it home for 1-0. We're going to continue to attack. I've come a cropper against Porto in the past by sort of going defensive or standard, and they just get back into the game. So we might as well keep attacking, to be honest. But we've got a highlight. I was about to make a sub, but we've got a second highlight of the game, and Fernando Silva's given it away from a throw-in. And here come Porto, but that's a really good interception from Marcel. Lamas plays up to Lopez, all by himself at the moment. Nakajima's there in support, though Lopez couldn't quite find Wellington, but Vinicius finds Wellington this time, and Wellington scores a 1-on-1. That is a miracle. We're 2-0 up. And it was terrible defending from Porto because Vinicius just lumped it over the top, and someone must have been playing him onside. Let's have a look at this again. Headed away, Vinicius steps in. I think their right back just didn't get far enough forwards, quick enough. Wellington probably should have passed it to Lopez there to be guaranteed of a goal, but he actually managed to finish past the keeper in a one-on-one situation, which I'm pleased with. Ivanic is dead and tired and not playing very well, so he's going to come off for David Silva. And Nakajima's been hit and miss this season, mainly miss unfortunately. I'm going to throw on... no, I'm going to keep with him for now. This has been a great performance in the second half. We've still got half an hour to go though. If I can get a third, then surely that's enough. Here's Lamas into Nakajima. Finds David Silva. Bruno Lamas finds Lopez. Here he goes. All by himself, but Wellington collects it now from him. Wellington, back to Fernando. Oh, that is poor from Fernando. He's come in for Georgian and he's let me down there, and this is a counter-attack opportunity from Porto, and that's going to be a goal. Oh, what a save, but it's in at the second attempt. It's 2-1. As always, we concede against Porto, and now they're on the attack again. Are they getting? There's been loads of goals at the start of this second half. Is this going to be an equaliser straight away? It's fired wide by the chap we had on loan for a while, Mario Ruth. I think that was in the first season, ages ago now. Do I keep attacking? I don't know. I'm going to bring Nakajima off though for Rui Costa. 10 minutes to go. I'm just reluctant to go defensive. Maybe I'll turn run at defence off though. The defence is looking nervous. That is not ideal. It's the players you really don't want to be nervous. Here's Rui Costa giving the ball away. That's poor from him. And now, is this the equaliser? Here it comes. Oh, it's a penalty. Fernando, you've had an absolute nightmare today. Gives the ball away on halfway. Gives away a penalty. I thought this was going to be a comfortable win after our 2 goals, but in the end, it's not. They've been the better team statistically, and Lecomte can't keep that penalty out. They've had 66% possession, 21 shots, 3 clear-cut chances. They don't deserve to lose this, and it looks like they're not. Unless we can do something right at the death here. We're going to risk it. I'm going to bring Stanley on for Lopez, which is a big choice. A big decision to make. But we're going to pump it up to him. We know he can score goals. He's scored goals this season. The team are looking a little bit frustrated. A draw's not the end of the world. But we should really have won that after a great start to the second half. But finally, Porto have managed to get some sort of result against us, thanks to our right back Fernando. So Georgian might be back in the team now after that, despite his recent red cards. You guys might think it's a little bit boring not to make signings in January when I've been given money to spend, and it's my last ever transfer window, remember. But I've just not been able to find anyone. I've put on Twitter that I'm not exactly happy with the scouting system on FM18. I've not really got to grips with it. So I've had to kind of manually try and find players myself by just looking around clubs, and obviously I've got attribute masking on, so I can't see them and then just individually scout them, because I just can't get to grips with the scouting system. Not happy with it, but I'm happy with the team. I don't think we need to sign players. We've got a decent sized squad, as you can see. I've just lined out Encarnacio, by the way, because I don't need him. We've got plenty of strikers who can score goals, and we're now in the Europa League. but it's not as difficult a competition as the Champions League, obviously. So I feel like we can put up a good fight in that competition with the team we have. And for the money I have, even though it's the most money I've ever had at the club, thanks to Champions League football, you can see our overall balance is amazing. But it's still not enough to make a massive difference to this team. Porto and Benfica and Sporting, they can spend 15-20 million pounds on players, every season. So 6 million isn't good enough to buy the players that they would sign, and in terms of wages as well. So I'm happy with the team I have. It's good enough to win the league. We've seen that. So I'm going to stick with it. It's time for the second match of the episode. Then we're taking on 13th place Arouca. We need to be winning these sorts of matches to stay at the top of the table. As you can see there, Benfica have caught up with us. They're only 2 points behind us after winning their 2 games in hand. And they can go above us by beating us in the last match of today. We always lose against them. I have a feeling Benfica are going to be top of the table come the end of today's episode. But there's still plenty of time in this season to go. We're only halfway through, remember. So there's still loads of matches to play. And it can all change. And by playing Benfica in today's episode, that's the last time we'll have to face them. Fortunately, we'll have got Porto and Benfica out the way. In fact, I don't think we've got Sporting left, but that is the hardest challenge for us. And I feel like they drop more. Benfica and Porto drop more points against other opposition than us. We just drop points against Benfica really, and the odd draw against Sporting, and of course a draw against Porto, which is a bit of a blow. But I'm still pretty happy. I've made one change. We've gone with Georgian. We have to, because Fernando was terrible in the last game, unfortunately. Bruno Tabata's back from injury. Shall we put him on the bench? I think we have to, don't we? In fact, Fernando's going to drop completely out of it. Here we go then. Let's not focus on them too much. It's all about us. If we're good enough, then we can beat anyone. So it doesn't matter who we're facing. Maybe that's the wrong attitude. Maybe I do need to study the opposition a bit more. Especially Benfica, but I'm stubborn. I still play the same system. You know I do. We did change it slightly, didn't we? Previously to get a result, but I don't really want to go about changing formations. We've just relied on this tactic and formation the whole time. I was in counter mode in that first season. Changed it to attack, and it's been a revelation. It really has. Direct football. It's been a joy to watch. Entertainment for the fans. But nothing's happening today, although this is the first highlight of the game. Here we go. Lamas into Ivanic. Lovely ball over the top for Wellington. Can he find Lopez? He's found Nakajima instead, who heads it into the back of the net. Lovely cross from Wellington, but Nakajima's done really well to get his head on that. And we're 1-0 up. Been really critical of him this season, but that's a good header. Well, push forwards, I think. We'll push them forwards, looking for a second goal. Nakajima doesn't quite find Wellington. It was a good idea, though. Here's Wellington on the ball, though. It's, lovely ball over Lopez. Heads it over the keeper. What a ball from Wellington that is. It's usually about the crosses from him, but that is a fantastic lobbed through ball. Look at this. I think it was with his weaker left foot as well. Lamas played it into Wellington. Looks up. That is delightful. And Lopez sees the keeper off his line. And that is a cheeky header from the Argentinian. 2 assists from Wellington today. He's our assist machine. And now we've got 10 minutes to go until half time. When Nakajima puts that free kick in. It's headed away back to Palmer Brown. The American plays it down the line. Trying to look for Lamas, but couldn't find him. And instead, Arvas perhaps will build from the back here, unless we can intercept this attack. Here they come. Come on, guys, get in there, win it back. That's a terrible effort. A few minutes to go till half time. Then Arvas got a bit of possession here, but in steps Georgian. That's a good interception, but it unfortunately found an Arvas player, and they're coming forwards again. Thiago Silva plays it out wide. Come on, Fernando Silva, get in there. Hamilton. Crosses it in, headed away brilliantly, but Vinicius heads it away again into the team because of Possignolo's injured. But that's a fantastic strike, hit the post. We do escape, and Wellington now just collects the ball. We should go on to win this game comfortably. Half time 2-0. We can't be throwing this one away. Just going to tell them to keep going, and we will go standard, which maybe is what I should have done against Porto in hindsight. But hindsight's an annoying thing, actually. No, it's not a beautiful thing. It's annoying. First highlight of the second half, and Arvez look like they're going to score here. This looks very, very dangerous, and they get it. Thiago Silva. Great strike. Corner. Now, can we wrap this up with a third? It's crossed in, headed away. Lopez picks it up, drags it forward, goes for the shot, tipped over the bar for another corner, which Ivanic will take, puts it back to the edge of the box again. Here's Lopez hitting it, headed away. It was going well wide anyway. And can we hang on for 25 minutes here? Free kick. Oh, what is going on there? Nakajima, free kick, goes for goal. Just puts it over the bar. Time to make some subs. Bruno Tabata, the super sub's going to come on in the attacking midfield position for Ivanic. Pedro Sar's also going to come on for the yellow-carded Marcel. Oh, I didn't want it to be this nervous at the end. We have to win this game. We really do. What? They've got a red card. What happened? How did I not see this red card? I think that's when Nakajima took the free kick, but it was just a really weird highlight. Okay. That wasn't clear to me that they'd received a red card. So we really should be winning this. 2 minutes to go. One more sub to make. I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it. I'm going to throw on Stanley for Nakajima at the end. Minute and a half of injury time. We've had 24 shots to their 9. We've actually had more possession, but we haven't been able to create a clear-cut chance in this match. Here's Lopez just putting it wide. That was the first clear-cut chance of the game. That would have wrapped it up, but he missed it. And we stay only 2-1 up. And a nervous 30 seconds to go. Here they come. Don't throw this away. They've only got 10 men, even though I hadn't noticed they only had 10 men for 20 minutes, but they've only got 10 men. This is not... Oh, Wellington intercepts, and a good ball back to Lecomte there. Hang on, lads, hang on. 5 seconds. It's not been as comfortable as I thought it would be. We've done it. We get the win. Wellington with 2 brilliant assists. Oh, they literally had 9 men. They had 2 red cards. What happened in the 67th minute? I'm really confused. So this was crossed back to the edge of the box. It was this corner. But what happened? I want to see what happened. Why is this highlight's really weird? It's all broken. It's all jittery and weird. But I just want to see what happened. How did they get 2 red cards in the same minute? Oh, well, that's definitely a red card. That's the red card tackle. We didn't see that. So he got sent off. And then this other player basically came over and got annoyed. And he got sent off as well. So they were down to 9 men. I could have attacked for the last half an hour, but I didn't realise. It didn't show that highlight, did it? Unless I suddenly went partially blind for a minute or two. Wow, Benfica lost 1-0 against Guimarães, which does mean we're going to be top of the table come the end of today's episode. That is brilliant, because we're actually 4 points clear of Porto, 5 points clear of Benfica, and 8 points clear of Sporting going into this Benfica game. It just alleviates that pressure. It doesn't matter if we lose. Obviously, if we win, we're going to be lots of points ahead of them, and by losing, Porto could catch us up as well as Benfica. But it's just, there's less pressure on us now going into today's last episode. Now, I've got a couple of weeks until the next match. I do have the end of the transfer window to deal with. I don't think I'm going to make any signings, but I'll let you know if I do. I didn't make any signings. I did, however, try to get Paulinho back on loan because, well, he's on their loan list, but they wanted way too much money for him. They wanted me to pay 100% of his wages, which is 93 grand a week, plus £17,500 a month. That wasn't a problem, but the wages was. So unfortunately, I couldn't bring Paulinho back for the last part of this series. It's a shame, because Paulinho, I love him. There's something still that I miss about Paulinho, because he added something to our attacking midfield. I'm happy with Ivanic, I'm happy with Bruno Lamas, I'm happy with David Silva in this midfield, but I think if we still had Paulinho there, it would be even better, I think. But unfortunately, it's not to be. I've made one change for this Benfica match. Posignoloo is back from injury, and he has to replace Palmer Brown because he's out on international duty again. I don't know why he's playing so much for USA when I'm trying to play some matches. It's a disgrace, but it's good to have Posignoloo back, and he's alongside his old friend Vinicius, so I don't really know if that could be a problem. So this Benfica team then still got Vargas, but he's playing on the left wing, and then playing Benedetto up front instead, who's worth £30.5 million. They've just signed him for £32.5 million. So that's the difference. That's the difference between little old Portimonense and Benfica. Benfica in January have signed someone for £32.5 million from Lyon. We just cannot compete with them for that, and I never would be. Like, maybe there's that sort of curiosity as to how far I could take Portimonense if I was to carry on into the future, but I just don't think. I think we would still win leagues. I still think we could dominate Portugal, but I don't think we could compete in the Champions League because we cannot spend this sort of money. We can't spend money on wages either, as Benfica can, and it's pretty miraculous how we've managed to win the league last season, and we're going strong this year as well. But I've put together a good team, a team that are not greedy in regards to wages. They're quite happy to be at a provincial Portuguese team not earning huge amounts of money. They're just happy to play for me and win and do their best. Like Nakajima, if he did move, he'd be earning a hell of a lot more than £12,500 a week. I think it'd be worth a lot more as well. He's a great player. Same with Wellington. He's 28 years old now though, so he's happy to play out his career with Portimonense. He's been there 4 seasons, of course. Lopez, this is his 3rd season on loan. Like, maybe eventually he would move to Portimonense and would be able to afford his wages. But, you know, I just don't think anything would change much if I was to carry on past the 4th season. Now, what I'm going to do is we're playing counter. I'm going to do what I did previously, counter structured, and just try and hit them on the break. That's the plan anyway. With our pace of Wellington and Nakajima's skill, we can cause problems. But remember, there's no pressure really on us. If we do win, it puts us really in the driving seat and makes us favourites for the league title, I think, going into the last third of this season. But if we lose, we still are ahead of Benfica and Porto, and we won't have to play them again. What a ball that is. Lopez is round the back. Can Lopez score? He doesn't. I mean, that's the difference as well. When we get opportunities against Benfica, we just can't seem to take them. I don't know why. What the difference is between them and... Oh, but that is a brilliant goal from Lopez. We have scored against Benfica, and it's an unbelievable strike. What a goal from Franco Lopez. Are we finally going to beat Benfica in the league? I really hope so. I'm desperate. But there's a long way to go. This is only the 5th minute, remember. But that is a... Oh, what a goal. And their new signing has picked up a bit of a knock. But they have a free kick here, and it's just fired wide. That was their first shot of the game. We're having long shots, apparently. No sort of chances from close range. Although we did have that Lopez chance from close range. That's the only clear-cut chance of the game so far. And here come Benfica. But that's a terrible ball from Vargas. Nakajima now plays it back to Lamas. I can't seem to talk. I've suddenly lost all my words in my vocabulary as a result of that cracking Lopez goal. Nakajima back to Lamas. Lamas, just thinking about what he needs to do. Takes it out wide into an unusual position for him. It's headed away to Ivanic, into Wellington, who's tackled, and now Benfica can break. Come on, get back. Guys, Benedetto is he's injured. Here's Vargas. Easy save for Lecomte, he catches that one. This is going well, I say, as Wellington gets injured. That's a bit of a blow. He's not really done much today, though, so perhaps it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to bring Bruno Lamas on. Going to play as a regular winger on the right-hand side. I could have brought Stanley on, but I think we'll go with Bruno Tabata, I mean. Bruno Lamas is already on the pitch. He's always been a substitute for us, hasn't he? I mean, he obviously has started games throughout the series, but he's never broken into one of those 3 attacking positions for us, despite this now being 3.5 seasons into this save. And we're 1-0 up at half-time. This is just incredible. Let's just keep it up, guys. Keep it going. I'm going to make Bruno Tabata just play on support. This could be a famous day for Portimonense. We've never beaten them in the league on this save. Will it happen, or will we be disappointed? It's a corner from Bruno Tabata. Back to Nakajima. Nakajima! 2-0! Suddenly, we're able to play against Benfica. My tactical changes seem to have worked today. That's all I needed to do. I didn't need to change the formation. Just a couple of changes, tweaks. Counter-structured. And Nakajima. Lovely strike. They've brought off Benedetto, their £30.5 million player. We've kept him quiet. I know he got injured, but Vinicius is on a 7.6. He's obviously dealt with him brilliantly today. He's come of age today. I'm going to bring David Silva on for Ivanic. Just add a bit of experience for the last few minutes of this game. Look at the body language of the players. It's fantastic. This has been... They've done nothing. They've just done nothing today. We have been magnificent. Pedro Sar's going to come on for the end just as a ball-winning midfielder. Just add a bit of steel to the midfield for the last few minutes. This is like a Porto game. I mean, I know we drew 2-2 against Porto, but this is comfortable. This isn't like a Porto game because we always concede against Porto. It is a bit like a Benfica game because there's not been... Benfica never really score masses of goals against us, but we've actually managed to take a couple of opportunities today. And they weren't even the clear-cut chances. The clear-cut chance, Lopez missed, and he's through again with another opportunity to make it 3, and he does! He tucks that one away. Wow, we just don't do this against Benfica. Oh, I'm so relieved to finally get a win against them. I really am. Like a proper win. I know we beat them in the Community Shield thing at the start of the season, but I mean, Lopez scores goals against everyone else like that, but he's never managed against Benfica. But he has today. One fantastic strike and one little tucked finish there. Delightful stuff. Vinicius heads that way. He's been stoic at the back for us. We've not really seen much of him in the highlights, but he's got a very good rating. So he's obviously played very well. And the ref should be blowing the whistle anytime soon. And that's cleared away and we win it. We win 3-0. What? How has this happened? Just a couple of tactical tweaks. Vinicius, 8.1 from him. But man of the match, Franco Lopez, 8.8. Nakajima also got an 8.3. That is just stunning. That is my favourite win of the series in a way, strangely enough. I know we beat Napoli. I know we beat Roma. But that is just incredible because of how hard it's been. And we're unbeaten for a long time. What a season it's been. So I've only got one game to play behind the scenes, Firenze, and then next episode we're going to take on Celta in the Europa League with Belenenses, who we've beaten in every single game, remember. But I just want to show you the history between us and Benfica, because it's been incredibly tough. It's our third win over them technically, because remember the penalty win, but it's our first ever win in the league against them. The first time we've truly managed to do something, really. I know that win in the Taça de Portugal, that's a long time ago. That was the first season. It doesn't really count. This win, it means a lot. It really does. It's been so hard against them. We finally managed it. And as you can see, Lopez top goal scorer. But more importantly, we're 4 points clear of Porto and 8 points clear of Benfica going into the last third of this season. The dream now is to win the league, win the cup, and also win the Europa League. Why not? I feel like this team can do it. I didn't need to make any signings in January because this team just keep going. They're unbelievable. Lopez having another fantastic season despite a few injury problems at the start of the season. He's up to 19 goals already. Can't remember how many he got last year. He scored 18. He's already beaten last year's total. So, wow, what a season from him. Wellington, 11 goals, 12 assists. This team, I love them. I really do. And let's end it on a high. Let's end it by winning the league for a second season in a row and doing our best in the Taça de Portugal and the Europa League as well. If we can get a treble, that would be the dream. But we should at least win the league title. Anyway, until next time, enjoy FM18. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you very soon.